Good morning, it's Bear from Portakeeper. This morning I plan to make a V60 using this new Turin SD40 and some of these Good Brothers Costa Rican beans. They're a special type of fermentation. It's not really like a natural process, but it kind of is. I've pre-weighed 23 grams of these beans, so let's grind them. Right now I have it set on about setting 11. A few days ago I had it on 10 and the drawdown seemed a little bit slow. So we'll see if this is a bit better today. I'm going to use my scale. I have my kettle set at about 200 degrees. You can change your temperature. I kind of like around that 200 degree mark. I am using my Harrier 02 V60. Let's grab a filter from one of the Portakeeper filter keepers. I'm going to wet this filter and dump the water just to give it a little bit of a rinse. Let's throw it in there and let's wet it down. Not a real big deal in these white papers, I don't think. I usually taste the more cardboard paper taste out of the brown Chemex. So we're going to set it on there. Or actually, I'll tear it again. Pretty nice grounds at this setting. There's maybe a little bit of clumps, but not really that bad. Let's throw our coffee grounds in. With my camera so close, the technique might not be as clean. I like to dimple it a little bit in the middle, and let's let it bloom. So I usually like to do, this is 23 grams, so I usually top it off at about 350. That's a little bit much for a V60, but that's how much my to-go cup holds. So I like to wet it with about 60 grams, give or take. I'm at about 90. Just to get them wet, let them bloom. These bloomed really big the other day. You can see some of the gases coming out. Hopefully this scale doesn't time out because I didn't change the setting. Great scale, but when you're doing some of these slower pours, it'll want to time out and reset its timer. It's just kind of what it's designed to do depending on which setting, so I'll give it a couple taps just to keep it awake. Yeah, there it went. So we had about 90 before. Let's add about 150. So we're at about 240, and I'll probably do another 100 gram pour as soon as this draws down. If you want, you can give it a little swirl. A couple grounds sticking to the side. Not too terrible bad. I can tell that the drawdown is still kind of a bit slow. We're at 100 more grams. That'll get us about where I like my cup. Typically, most people do about 20 grams of grounds and about 300 grams of water. I do that extra 50 just to give a little bit more on my to-go cup. Well, I sped up the drawdown time because it was taking a bit long. The top has quite a few fines on it, so I would say I might try this again going quite a bit coarser. Maybe I'll jump dramatically like 2 settings. But overall, I tried this the other day and it was a pretty nice cup of V60. I really feel like potentially on this smaller setting, there's quite a few fines in it. It should taste good in the cup. I mean, it's a bimodal burr, so you're going to have, in my opinion, more fines and 2 different particle sizes. So not super uncommon. When I use like a larger flat burr, I have a Ditting 804. It does have fines. I mean, you can't get away from it, but overall, it's just so clean and crisp. I know when I tried this the other day, it was just a different body to it. And I actually really liked it, especially with these beans. For whatever reason, it just really brought these beans out with the conical burr. So, kind of yet again, there is the pros and cons to having the flat burr or the conical burr. They both have their place, and they both have beans that they really excel at. So let's pull the top. This nice black cup of coffee. That's how I'll drink it today. It smells great. You can smell in this Costa Rican that just what hits me in the face every time is just tons of raspberry. You can kind of smell some of the mandarin citrus that he calls out. Overall, it says raspberry, mandarin, and sugar. And believe it or not, the sugar really shines through. I mean, there's no sugar added. It's a very sweet cup of coffee. So I'd say it does very well with the V60 drip type stuff. I'm going to go coarser because, again, it was a bit muddy. Like quite a bit muddy. But I know it's going to taste pretty good. Make sure to subscribe and check back. I'll be doing more videos here soon. Thanks for watching.